are in Phang Nga province, in the south of Thailand, a place that rarely makes it onto postcards but holds a huge dose of mystery and spirituality. Today I will take you to one of the most intriguing temples I have seen, Wat Tam Tapan. This will be no ordinary visit. We'll be climbing an unfinished staircase, peering into caves, passing through the interior of a dragon, and admiring the town's skyline from the height of a Buddhist hill. We begin with a leisurely approach through the town, and then through the lush greenery. The path is inconspicuous, away from the tourist crowds, just tropical forest, bird song and that strange kind of silence that heralds something unusual. With every step, nature becomes denser, more tangible, and you feel you are heading somewhere where reality looks a little different from what we know every day. If trips like this are close to your heart, full of adventure, symbolism, and Thai trivia, please leave a paw up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what surprised you the most today. That way I can create even more episodes like this. And now here we go. And suddenly, the path ends. A staircase emerges in front of us that looks as if it had been forgotten to be finished. Concrete that has not yet had time to set. Wire handrails and protruding rebar. Stairs under construction. And it is with these that we are to ascend higher. This is where the excitement begins. It's no longer about the views. Here you have to be careful where you put your feet. For some, it may be a moment of hesitation. But for us it is a foretoken of something really special waiting behind these stairs. The stairs lead us deeper and deeper into the greenery. The sounds of the city are gone, just the rustle of leaves and the dampness settling on your skin. And suddenly, something unexpected emerges from behind a branch. An old brick chadi. It seems about to crumble, and yet it persists here, as if against time. Overgrown with wild vegetation, partly overgrown with moss, with prayer sashes stuck in the ground. At its base, a small altar with gifts. Plastic bottles, flowers, colorful fabrics. It's not a tourist attraction, it's a place that still lives on in the spiritual space of local people. It stands here like a guardian, perhaps of a former monastery, perhaps of a lost history that has already been lost. The silence here has its own weight. It's a moment to stop, breathe, and feel that Thailand is not just temples with golden roofs, but places that tell a story through what they hide. we arrive at the actual entrance to Wat Tam Tapan Temple. And immediately you can feel that this is no ordinary temple. There are no crowds, souvenir shops or colorful banners here. Instead, huge, bizarre sculptures, painted in vibrant colors, stand on either side of the entrance like guardians of another dimension. Crossing the gate, we enter a space full of contrasts. On one side, the serenity of Buddhist spirituality, on the other, brutal images of suffering and punishment, carved with incredible expression. You feel it immediately. This place is not intended to be just pretty. It is meant to tell a story. Walking along the path, you pass the first statues. Some of them depict classical silhouettes of Buddhist monks in meditation, but right next to them, figures with big eyes, open mouths, unnaturally bent. Some are half human, half animal. Some of the sculptures seem to observe us with a gaze so penetrating that for a moment one forgets that they are just stone and paint. There are no haphazard details. Everything seems well thought out. Every gesture, every hand position, every facial expression carries meaning. In Thai culture, the seemingly grotesque is often deeply symbolic. And then, from behind the trees and buildings of the temple, he slowly emerges. Sitting high on a hill, looking calmly into the distance, the great Buddha. Huge, monumental, but at the same time incredibly quiet in his presence. He has something about him that is calming. Even from this distance you feel as if his gaze is passing through you. This is not a statue to look at. It is a statue that stirs something in you. I pause for a moment. There is practically no one around, silence, just a light breeze. In the distance, birds sing and leaves rustle. Looking at the Buddha, I am reminded that the purpose of such places has never been merely architectural or decorative. They are spaces to stop, physically, mentally, spiritually. We step slightly to the side and there, a figure of a woman riding a crocodile. Mystical, somewhat surreal. The crocodile, a symbol of strength, of primordial energy. A woman, the epitome of control and spirituality. It could be a local goddess, perhaps a figure from mythology. In Thailand, symbols are not always obvious. Here spirituality is combined with folklore. We begin the ascent, with a long flight of stone steps ahead of us that lead straight to the top of the hill. The stairs are steep, but fortunately they have a handrail, which becomes more and more necessary with each step. This approach is a real test of endurance. With each minute the pace slows down, your breath gets shorter and your legs feel the weight of the tropical air. There are no forks, no shortcuts, just one way, still upwards. There is dense greenery all around, but more and more glimpses of the skyline peek through the leaves, a sign that we are nearing our destination. The whole climb has a cleansing quality to it, as if each step leaves behind a little of the daily fatigue. And suddenly, no more stairs. We are at the top. The space opens up and an incredible view unfolds before us. The whole town lies at our feet. The rooftops, roads and fields look like ordered miniatures from here, silent and motionless, as if the world had stopped for a moment. But what catches the eye most strongly is the line of mountains in the distance. Their verdant ridges emerge from the morning mist like shadows of ancient stories. They are majestic, wild, and seem distant not only physically but also temporally, as if they came from another world. We go inside the dragon, literally. Its mouth is the entrance to a tunnel that leads us through dark, narrow corridors. The walls are rough, slightly damp, with light coming in only through small openings. We walk as if through a myth, a dragon-like body writhing above the ground, in which every step brings us closer to something strange, disturbing. We walk as if through a myth, a dragon-like body writhing above the ground, in which every step brings us closer to something strange, disturbing. After a while, we emerge from the darkness and find ourselves in a place that is difficult to describe in a single word. It is a scene full of sculptures that are realistic, exaggerated, brutal. Bodies torn apart, demons torturing people, figures screaming with expressions of pain on their faces. This is Thai hell, presented literally. There is no white glove symbolism here. It is a brutal vision of suffering, guilt, and punishment, carved in concrete and frozen in an eternal pose. Between trees and rocks stand dozens of figures naked, deformed, bound, tormented. Some hang from trees, others are stretched out on torture wheels. We see people dragging boulders, battered with hammers, with expressions of suffering so authentic that it is hard to look away. This is not a museum, it is a cautionary tale. Looking at scene after scene, you get the impression that each one tells a separate story. A sin that has been punished. A punishment that lasts forever. The trees, instead of providing shade, witness these dramas. The roots weave into the bodies, as if nature itself wanted to consume the culprits. All that can be heard in the background are the sounds of the forest, the birds, the leaves, sometimes the wind. And this makes the place even more disturbing, because there are no screams, just an almost sepulchral silence. A silence that speaks more than 1,000 words. Before we even have time to approach the cave entrance, something unexpected catches our attention. A dog comes running up from the side. Without hesitation, it runs straight into the area where the monk is sitting calmly. We hold our breath for a moment, expecting a reaction, but it does not come. The monk does not even raise his eyes. His face remains gentle, unruffled, as if this unexpected visitor is part of everyday life. We respectfully come closer. On our own initiative, we make a modest offering, 100 baht. The monk merely inclines his head in a gesture of thanks. This is enough. Now we are ready. We have our torches all ready, attached to our heads, and turn them on with a click. Beams of light pierce the twilight and reveal the first details of the cave. The damp air immediately blows over our faces and the ground underfoot becomes more slippery and uncertain. With each step we descend deeper into the cool interior of the earth. Head torches cast irregular light on the walls. The underground passages wind and branch like the veins of an old organism. The passageways are narrow, the vaults low, sometimes you have to almost crawl, other times carefully squeeze between boulders. Overhead hang stalactites, sharp, as if carved by the hand of a master. Underfoot, slippery stones, moss-covered in places, make every step require caution. At one point we come to a bridge. The metal structure, carefully integrated into its surroundings, almost blends in with the color of the rocks. If it weren't for the reflections of our torches, it could easily be overlooked. The bridge leads over a narrow crevice from which the cold, damp air beats. We cross carefully, step by step, the metal gently trembling under our feet, but the whole thing gives the impression of being solid and safe. On the other side, a larger chamber opens up. Its walls are layered, as if someone has written the history of this land in them. Tiny drops glisten on the surface. There is a sense of dampness, silence, and something unnameable in the air. Every sound carries in this space. Our footsteps, breaths, and even the quietest whisper sounds here like an echo of long-forgotten conversations. We walk on, passing more similar bridges, unobtrusive but functional, blending into the cave landscape like a natural part of it. The light of torches guides us around corners, under rock arches, between columns formed by nature over hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. It's like walking through a living sculpture, a place that doesn't need any decoration because it's a work of art in itself. And finally, the final chamber. In one of the alcoves we notice a small altar. Simple, stone, modest. On top of it a small statue, next to it a few candles and burnt incense. This place seems almost sacred, separated from the rest of the cave not by a door, but by an atmosphere of silence and concentration. We pause for a moment. The darkness that surrounds us becomes almost physical. Nothing can be heard, just breaths, and the feeling that we are in the heart of something much bigger than ourselves. Finally, we leave. The cave is left behind us, but its presence, or what we saw and felt, stays inside for a long time. We leave the hotel when the sky has had time to darken. Evening has hung over Fang Na like a soft curtain. The air is thick, warm, smelling of trees and the dust of the day. We fire up the scooter and set off slowly on our way. The engine purrs quietly. The lights pass more palm trees, buildings and shadows. The city lives differently after dark, quieter, more peaceful, but also with some kind of hidden rhythm. We pass small shops with closed blinds, food stalls where someone is still frying up something quick for hungry passers-by. Sometimes a dog running across the street flashes by. Sometimes someone on a bicycle passes silently, like a ghost. Driving through these streets, one feels the day slowly passing away. Memories of temples, caves, and hot sun move to the back of our minds. Now it's time for something completely different. One more chapter of today's journey lies ahead. Casual, light-hearted but full of local flair. A local bar with live music, a place that doesn't need advertising, because it speaks for itself as soon as the first guitar notes ring out. And we're already on our way. finally arrive at the site. From the outside, inconspicuous. Open walls, a few tables, lamps strung overhead. But just walk up a few steps and you already know, this place has a soul. The sounds of a guitar and the voice of a singing artist float through the air like an invitation. We step inside, sitting down at one of the vacant tables. It's relaxed, casual, and unhurried. There are Thais and a few foreign tourists sitting next to us, all smiling, relaxed, some quietly humming under their breath. In the background, the sounds of the blues mingle with the smell of grilled food and fresh fruit. We order a lemonade, simple, cold, citrusy. On a hot Thai evening, it tastes better than any luxury drink. The coolness of the glass in your hand, the soft light, the pleasant hum of conversation and music. Suddenly, everything slows down. A day that was full of excitement, adventure and emotion ends in a perfect way, calmly, with a smile. A musician on stage needs no effects, only his voice, his instrument and his heart. Every chord, every note fills the space and goes exactly where it needs to go. Sometimes you don't need to understand the words to feel everything. We sit like this for a while longer, listening, present, grateful for the day. And it is at this point that I leave you alone for a moment. With the music, with the atmosphere, with this little piece of Thai evening. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a subscription, a paw up, and be sure to let your friends know. And maybe even write a comment on what surprised you the most. Thanks for being with me. See you in more beautiful places. And now let's listen some more together.